Hello, and welcome to your collective reading for the new moon in Sagittarius, taking place on the 19th, the 20th of December. So there is a lot of energy I'm feeling coming through with this. Being in Sagittarius, I do feel like this is going to be a new moon that really I don't know if I would want to use the word awaken, but I definitely feel there's going to be a higher learning. I feel like there's going to be an expansion of the mindset, the belief systems, things like that. There is a lot of powerful energy playing out. We're going to see this through the remainder of December up until the end of January before things really ease back. I feel a little bit. Come the time of April, I definitely feel like we're more on a forward momentum. Um, into the new into the way of being, with really lined up with integrity, with authenticity, with truth, transparency, all of that stuff. So in the meantime, you're seeing the old structure break down as the new structure is developing. I am going to be posting readings for all 12 signs, so you can stay tuned and catch those as they are coming out throughout the course of this week. I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video, and please don't forget to leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. So let's see what energy wants to show up for this new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. What is going on with this new moon in the sign of Sagittarius? What messages want to show up for this new moon in Sagittarius? Look, free of attachments, right? Perfect start to this reading. I love to see all this fire. Again, it's giving me that energy that I was picking up on originally, talking about liberating from old belief systems, the ways of thinking about things, that sort of energy. Bottom of the deck is life is opportunity. So this does give me that vibe of where things are falling apart, and dissipating. It's so that the things that are meant to be can come together. Nothing, no matter what, is going to be able to hold the things together that are not meant to be. It's just, I don't see it happening like that. I feel like they will be removed one way, shape, or form somehow. If it isn't for your greater good, if it isn't authentic, if it isn't achieved through integrity, that all of that sort of energy. So be mindful of that. If you're going through some stuff and seeing things fall away, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you, right? It's removing the things that are slowing you down, delaying you, blocking your progress or your growth, that sort of information, that sort of energy. The next card that shows up is time to play. So I do feel, and I love when look at the free of attachments, because I feel like that's a very liberated person who's really like living life to the fullest. It feels like this person is dancing and celebrating, having fun, releasing all the, burdens of whatever it is. It can be responsibilities, not like you're not going to be responsible, but it's like sometimes you have to step out of all of that stuff and have that me time, right? Or have that fun time, that play time, that getting out, celebrating, having a good time, letting go of all the things that are weighing on your shoulders, that sort of energy. I do feel this message is talking to someone specifically who needs to look at that, part of their chart, their cycle, and recognize if they are neglecting that area of their life. The area where it's time to socialize, get out with friends, kick it up a little bit, have fun, that sort of energy. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moving and see what energies are showing up. Next two that come out. Wow, look. The next two that came out is life is opportunity, which has already shown up for you at the bottom of the deck, and then defeat doubts. So yes, life is an opportunity to take chances, calculated, or, definitely evaluate situations. But I'm feeling more this is about taking offers and opportunities that can, shift the, like, it doesn't necessarily shift the energy for you, but it does allow growth and expansion when it comes to opportunity, I'm feeling. And that in itself is what, you know, dissipates or releases things that are not for you, and allows the doors of opportunity to open up. I am feeling a strong sense of somebody needs to come out of their shell. Bottom of the deck is anointed with love. I do feel like there is a sense of energy of somebody needing to come out of their shell. Maybe, I'm not saying like take risks in a bad way, but like not be so fearful, right? Defeat doubt or doubting and um, pessimistic energy kind of feel. I'm feeling that energy where somebody needs to release and surrender that, right? Where it's not doing them any good to stay hidden in their shell or isolated or any, and this definitely gives me that isolation energy. I could get the vibe that whoever I'm talking to has really been through some stuff, and they're, I kind of feel a little skittish, right? Like that energy of being a little skittish of uh, putting themselves back out there, allowing themselves to be seen. But this reading already is telling me just that, that yes, that's where you want to go. You want to shine, get yourself out there, allow yourself to be seen, release, defeat those doubts and insecurities that may be keeping you stuck or stagnant in a situation. It does feel like a very liberating energy to me. The next card that comes up is the faithful way, and you can see where this has been quite a storm surrounding an individual, right? Surrounding someone, but the future holds peaceful waters, calmer waters. There's something more nurturing, soothing, comforting that lies ahead, is how I'm feeling with this. Make work fun. I'm seeing two energies out here talking about fun, play, having a good time. This is about doing what you love, loving what you do, that sort of energy. And again, I feel like somebody has kind of withdrawn from that or has been isolating themselves from that energy. There's something about this new moon that I feel is going to shift and change that energy. I also feel there's going to be a lot of opportunity that shows up to help you to break free of that energy, of that isolation, or that sort of energy. The joy of generosity is the next card that's popping up. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the virtue of humility. Control your ego and embody modesty. I kind of feel like I feel I have mixed feelings with that energy picking up right now. We'll see what clarifies and shows up with all of that. But I feel that energy of somebody. I almost felt like, I don't know if you could hear me, but I was like, like I felt like just breathing that sigh of relief. Like, and it's like I feel someone carrying an energy of fear, of worry, of anxiety, of even caring what people think. That could be that why that virtue of humility is showing up. People like to judge. It's not people's places to judge, but I do feel like someone could be looking at that, like how what they look like or what people think, and I don't feel like it's meant to be like that. I kind of feel like it's meant to be um, with what your soul knows, like what your soul is calling for, and what kind of like I get that vibe that, and that's not necessarily a good thing. I'm not trying to talk no smack on anybody, but there is that energy of when you care what people think, right? Like you are literally not going to be living your best life. You are not going to be on your authentic path, because what other people think is not your business or your problem. And if you pay attention to that, if you give that time, energy, and effort, right, you are literally altering what is for you to appease, to impress, whatever it is, other people. And I kind of feel like this is where that's a no-no, where this is going to be something that is, it can be, there's where that change of belief system comes in, where, there could be somebody who is always, doing what it takes to keep the peace, not create any waves or ripples in the water or anything like that. And it's going to be like, but it's not getting them anywhere, right? It's instead they're carrying around the baggage and the burdens of, either not saying anything or not taking action or something like that. And I kind of feel like that's going to be something that's done. Like this is a shift, this is a change, this is where they're liberating themselves from that energy. So let's start clarifying this, and we're going to start with the free of attachments. Let's see what energy wants to come out and clarify the free of attachments. First card, look, free of attachments is clarified by the sun. Look at that. Beautiful. I talked about the fire energy, the sun. We're talking about this new moon, right? Where the sun and the moon will be snuggled up together. This is about illuminating something. This is about liberating from something and allowing someone to step out, stand out, allow their light to shine, be their authentic self, and no shame in their game. Like this is who I authentically am. You take it or leave it. What's for me is going to connect, and what isn't is going to fall away. And that is the justice of the situation. I feel like this is going to be a very well, I already feel the power of the moon, but I know we've mentioned this several times, or I have mentioned this several times anyhow, throughout the course of the last couple moons, where they have been at the end degrees of a sign. And just like with the new moon in Scorpio, which was at the end of Scorpio season, we're having the same thing playing out with the sign of Sagittarius, with this new moon at the end degrees. And that is that indication of that old cycle of belief systems of um, that sort of stuff is just it's playing out, it's phasing out, it's being released, somebody's being liberated, somebody is stepping into a new, more expanded mindset or vision or something like that. Like there something gets turned up as something gets like turned off, I feel, because it's not serving them anymore. This is somebody liberating themselves and allowing their true, authentic self to shine. No remorse, no regrets. Like, this is who I am. You accept it or you don't, and I'm okay either way I look at it. Page of air. There will be some sort of communication, conversation, information that comes in or that is communicated that is going to really, I feel, speak. I feel liberating someone by speaking their piece. Like, no, this isn't what I want. This isn't, I'm not good with this. And it could be very unsettling for people, especially people who have always known you to believe a certain way or to think a certain way or to act a certain way or to take action in a certain way. And then all of a sudden, you're going through this big awakening and rising up, and you're seeing things that work, the things that don't work, and you're willingly releasing, surrendering, letting them go. You're defeating, right? Defeating the doubts of failure, defeating the doubts of insecurity, whatever these things are for you. And I do feel like you show up shining, but in an entirely different way, and not everybody's going to like that, and that's okay. What's meant for you will find its way, and what isn't is going to be released. And when I said that at the very beginning, no matter what, you can try to hold on to something, but if it's not meant to be, it's going to, through circumstances beyond your control, be removed. The next card that shows up, and I love to see that I'm clarifying these cards and I'm seeing major arcana cards show right up. First card is the Magician. And so I feel like there is a manifestation going on. I'm also feeling this is somebody manifesting opportunities to get out, to have fun, because that is clarifying that get out and have fun card. So I do feel like there are opportunities coming in, and I feel like there's a lot of um, I feel opportunity associated with offers and opportunities to do something different. Look, bottom of the deck is the Four of Fire. This is a celebration. This is the celebration of a solid, stable, uh, opportunity of some sort. It can be, I'm not really seeing love or money out here right now, right? I'm more feeling about an individual's personal power, personal journey, where it's their essence, their alignment, whatever this is. I feel like it's more about an internal thing than I do feel an external thing. I feel there's a lot of external things that are going to show up and offer opportunity. Life is opportunity, right? To move forward, to go through a portal, to release the old and to move into the new. But somebody has to be willing to take that leap of faith, take that chance. The next card that comes out is the Page of Fire. So we had a major arcana card followed by a page, major arcana card followed by a page. That Page of Air is talking about a conversation or communication. The Page of Fire, again, another message of carrying that energy. Both air and fire can carry that energy, right? And I feel like this is taking action. So, bottom of the deck is the Ace of Water, towards a new beginning, towards something more. And I felt the water up there. I was noticing the turbulence from the piece. So, this to me feels like this new beginning is in a really different element or like vibe, aura, essence, whatever this is to this energy. Feels like it's softer, it's more nurturing. Not saying that it's weaker or vulnerable in any of those things. It's just more in that power by being aligned with, emotionally balanced, emotionally nurtured and cared for, that sort of energy. It just feels like a more peaceful energy, is how I'm looking. I'm going to pull one more card just for that area, just because there were two cards that came out. But this is talking about manifesting new opportunities, new doors opening. I feel like unexpected opportunities. All of a sudden, you have an opportunity to go on a weekend road trip, and typically you're the person who's like, well, we got to plan this out a year in advance. I don't make any spur of the moment choices or decisions. I'm kind of feeling that could be what changed. Somebody's all of a sudden like, all right, let's just do this, right? And they jump on board. I'm just using that as an example. Seven of Earth is the card that came out to help clarify all of that, and I am feeling with that energy somebody is really mindful of the direction they're planting their seeds, of how they're nurturing those seeds, of what they're investing their time, energy, and effort into. And I get this vibe that it feels to me like it's going to be something totally unexpected to the people surrounding whoever I'm talking to. It just gives me that vibe of somebody's like, no, I've done it this way for the longest of times, and I just, at this point, am watching it all crumble, fall apart. It's not working, something's not right. And so, shifting that energy, not sitting there trying to hold everything together or make it work in the same way it used to work before. It's not going to be like that, anyways. But I do feel like somebody is recognizing, like, they're using their free will to see things clearly, to know better and do better, and to know that they have to make choices and decisions. Another ace on the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Fire. So we see the Ace of Cups. Now we see the Ace of Fire. I don't know why I said wire, but Ace of Fire. I do feel like this is where that energy takes off, where that one conversation, that one bit of information, and then it sparks, it ignites something within somebody. It's almost like your life force is reignited as a result of this news, information, conversation, that sort of energy. Empress energy, and this is clarifying the defeat, the doubts. I love to see this energy out here. I'm seeing the Magician again, a major arcana card, right? Let's talk about that. Eight of Waters, right? So I feel as somebody is taking the time, energy, and effort, I feel, to invest in themselves, in their health, wealth, and well being, in their emotional, their mental capacity, their experience, their healing, whatever this is. Somebody is taking the time to nurture and love and invest in themselves. And as a result of it, having to walk away from some things. And I've picked this up, like I said, they're walking away from turbulent experiences. They want peace. They want calmer waters. They want healthier, happier, more nurturing and nourishing connections, conversations, that sort of energy. And I just see that this is where someone is heading. The next card that comes out, I cannot make it all up, right? Look, the ace of fire, that's that ignition, that is that moving forward happily, peacefully, with love, right? This isn't, I'm just, throwing everything in the, you know getting rid of everything or throwing everything away from the past and moving forward. This is somebody who's really at peace and recognizing what it is that peace looks like for them, right? That sort of energy. This is going to change someone's direction that they're heading. I feel like they've been under, whoever I'm talking to, I feel like you've been going through some stuff. I just feel like you have. And I feel like it always gets darkest before the dawn, right? If you've ever heard that before. And I feel like that is over. It's like the universe is just waiting for you to shed it. It's waiting for you to release it, liberate yourself from it. Like, you know what? I can't carry around this sadness. I can't carry around this aggravation. Whatever it is you've been carrying around that I feel like has been burdensome, right? It feels like it's been a heavy energy. I'm, I'm surrendering and letting go and not trying to control how it happens, when it happens, that sort of energy. I feel like it's time for change. And look, there are three major arcana cards on the bottom: the Wheel of Fortune, the Lover's card, and the Justice. This says love on it. It doesn't say lovers, but it is significant of the Lover's card. I'm more feeling the Gemini energy when I'm looking at this. And I feel like this is somebody coming to terms and balancing out, making choices and decisions. Um, in what is right for them. Like I said, I feel like if somebody has always kept quiet to keep the peace, or never, withheld how they felt because they didn't feel comfortable or secure enough to express it, I kind of feel like that's gone. Like that old part of them is shedding, or has been shed, and they're making choices and decisions to bring balance. Justice card. When I see this Justice card show up, anytime you see the Justice card show up, it's because there's been an injustice somewhere along the way. And now it's time. The timing is here to bring balance. Someone has been stuck for a very long time. Like I said, I felt like somebody, yeah, and look, that cycle is ending. Somebody is making a choice and a decision to, this is it. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore. I don't want this to be my life anymore. And it's like, and I know there are people, what I'm talking about, when you just reach that point of, this is it. Like, this isn't the life for me. And so just knowing that and being real with that and throwing that out into the cosmos, you've already initiated, because you've already told the universe, this isn't for me, right? I know better. I'm going to do better, and I'm going to have better. And that's not a bad thing, right? That none of those are bad things. When it becomes toxic or a harmful thing is how you go about doing it, right? And we know there are energies out there that will do whatever they can to get whatever they want. They're going to have a rough path ahead, because this Aquarian age will be nothing to play with, I can tell you. This card did pop out, and this is talking about the justice. This is talking about restoring balance in an individual's life. An individual who has probably experienced, like I was feeling before, a lot of three of air, a lot of heartbreak, which could be that indication of why, there could be some little, I feel residual energy of doubts, insecurities, fears, that sort of thing. This gives me the vibe of somebody who's going to see that, feel that, and do it anyways. That's just the vibe it's giving me. And underneath that, look, I sure do, because they're coming out of the three of air, the heartbreak, from healing, all of that stuff, and they are going to be embarking on a new path. This is a brand new beginning right there, but you cannot take the past with you. Six of Water is definitely giving me that indication of, in the past, somebody has really been through some stuff, gut wrenching, heartbreaking energies, and most everybody has, but I'm just saying This is what's showing up, so I'm bringing it out. So let's get some more energy with this Justice card. Again, you see the theme? Like the major arcana card, then it's either a message, communication, a conversation, or a new beginning, right? All of these cards are going major, major, and then these minors. So it's very interesting to see where a major shift is happening in a part of someone's life, and then it's like, as a result, I feel of doors being opened through communication, conversation, information coming in, and someone stepping up to the plate, stepping out of their comfort zone, like coming out of the shell, right? And accepting offers, opportunities, embracing something new, something different, right? Queen of Water. I love this. And look where it's sitting right there. And that's what I could feel with that energy. Somebody is done with that energy of whatever it was that was not very healthy and happy. I feel like they're coming out of the turbulent emotional space, place, experience, whatever it is, and they're heading towards peaceful water. Bottom of the deck is the Star card. This is achieving and receiving a major wish fulfillment as well. This is the Aquarian energy. This is giving me that vibe of somebody who's really allowing themselves to fall into the flow of what Aquarius energy represents. It's truth, it's transparency, it's integrity, it's about a greater good. It's about something big, more than just the individual, right? Like we remember the virtue of humility card that was out here. This could have been someone going through an ego death, like if somebody was always worried about how it affects them or what difference it makes for them, but doesn't care about external energies that could get hurt or this, that, and the third thing as a result of it. It was all about, like, this could have been a very, I don't feel the person I'm reading for was a very self-centered person, but there could have been areas in their life where they've had to go through an ego death because it's showing up out here. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing, but I do feel like there is that letting go of that old self, shedding that old skin, coming out of that shell, right? And not allowing that whatever it was to move forward with them is how I'm feeling with this. I do feel like there is beautiful days coming forward. I definitely am loving the energy of this full moon in Sagittarius because I do feel like it brings opportunity to explore options, think outside the box, learn something new, even challenge one's belief systems, which can change everything, right? So, very interesting energy I feel playing out. Let's clarify what this joy of generosity is saying. Tell us more energy, give us more clarity. Joy of generosity, another page. So we got, well, they had the page and then the messengers of fire. So this is, I feel something's being initiated and it's going to be delivered upon, right? Like I said, someone could just say this isn't for me and no, it's not for them, don't necessarily know the way forward, and then all of a sudden, because you've thrown that out, because you've said it with intention, authentic intention and pure intention, right? For a greater good, for what is in alignment, it allows the universe to bring these doors opening. Bottom of the deck is the Chariot card. I do want to be pay attention to, you see this horse heading straight forward, right? They're looking towards the future, moving straight ahead. This horse is being distracted by something off to the side, and she's directing her attention there as well. So be mindful of distractions or things that want to distract you, of you losing sight of what's in front of you or what's ahead of you, because I feel whoever I'm talking to, I feel someone being at a finish line and they're ready to just cross over, right? And instead of being mindful at the people that are like the experiences that are in front of you, welcoming you in and guiding you home, right? Or towards this stability, security, whatever this is for you, there is, feels to me like something could distract someone. I feel like ultimately to delay, block, slow down. I don't necessarily get the vibe that's going to be how it works out. But I am here to say, just the vibe and the message that I'm getting is to be mindful of things that want to distract you, come at you from out of nowhere, or get you turning in a different direction so that you miss a step or something like that. Wow. Look, I said the finish line. There it is. Because with every completion, there is a new beginning. With every ending, there's a new beginning. And it's right there. Somebody is on the threshold. Don't be distracted by something that comes in out of nowhere trying to get you off course. But look, have the strength, the courage, the confidence to stay tried and true, not only to yourself, but towards your path and your mission in this lifetime. So, very beautiful energy. So, I'm going to grab a couple. These are just messages from the Spirit Junkie. I hope these bring you some sort of information and inspiration, motivation, encouragement, some sort of affirmation that maybe you can repeat throughout the week, the day, the month, the year, whatever it may be. All right, let's see. If you guys are looking for personal readings, you can go to my website, tarottalkwithpenny.com. That's where all my appointments are scheduled through. Again, I do appreciate it if you guys take the time to leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I can expand time when I'm inspired. And all through this reading, I have talked about expansion, right? Exploration, expanding the mindset, that sort of thing. And I feel like this is what's happening. This new beginning feels to me like someone exploring their options, recognizing what really resonates and feels in alignment with them, looking at it from a different, I feel, way. Like I feel there's something, the way they're looking, and it could have been because of the prior experience or the trauma or whatever it is they've gone through. They look at things differently now. And I'm not saying that it's a bad differently. I'm just saying maybe with an expansive, more open mindset, an expanded mindset. Maybe this is someone who used to take a lot of things on, for face values. Well, they said it must be true. And after an experience, they know, like, no, we're not going to just be buying anything we're told. We're going to do some research. We're going to evaluate it. The card at the bottom of the deck says, I trust that my intuition is always leading me in the right direction. And I wasn't going to read from the bottom of this deck, but when I see that, I definitely wanted to bring it up because I did forget to not tap into, but touch on this Queen of Water is also an extremely intuitive energy, right? And I feel like this is ultimately somebody who is trusting their intuition and taking action, moving their energy towards this new beginning based on what they are intuitively knowing, right? Like, your soul knows, yes or no. You can try to, convince your soul that you're at peace, you're happy, life is good. But if that's a lie, it's a lie, and you're not tricking your soul out of it. You're just not going to do that, right? So it's more being authentic, true with oneself. It's okay to feel down. It's okay to be disappointed, or go. Look, and I shuffled the cards. I don't know if you heard me, and it showed right back up. This is about trusting your intuition. This is about knowing, listening to what your soul is calling for. That is just the energy and information I'm feeling with this, because it's showing me that it's time for someone to take action, head in a new beginning, head in a new direction. It starts from within. They've had to take the time, energy, and effort investing in themselves, in their own peace of mind, in their own nurturing, in this definitely feels like someone who had to love themselves, right? Not like, I'm sure you have people who do love you, but I feel like they had to do like do the work that other people can't do from them. Other people can't heal your heartbreak, disappointment, letdown. They cannot. Nobody can. Only you can, right? This is feeling to me like someone has done the inner work, and they are the reason justice is being served in their life. The balance is being restored. The offer and opportunity of new beginnings are happening because they've done that work, because it won't happen. It just doesn't align like that. Like, some people try to force it to make it look all good, but if it's not authentic, it's not going to stand. It just will not. It'll crumble at some point. So this is telling me somebody has done the work. They've done the work. All right, so let's see what other energies want to come out. What other energies want to come out? I am willing to see my sameness with others. This opens my awareness to oneness. And I picked up somewhere in here, and that's just the way of the future. Anyways, it's not just about you, right? We are all one. And it's talking about, like I said, there was this energy that I was picking up on where maybe that was one of someone's life lessons and they learned the hard way, where it was all about them and what benefits me and what do I want, and never took others into consideration, the damage it would do or the harm it could cause or the ripple effect it would, create. I feel they don't think like that anymore. I just feel like that has shifted and that has changed. And even when you can't, right? So even when you can't, this is so interesting. Even when you can't, right? You can know the difference when you're connected with energies that are like that, and they're I can't picture a situation where they would ever be beneficial for you. I just can't. I kind of feel like there's this recognizing, like, until this situation aligns with who I am, what I'm about, this sort of energy, I got to release it. I got to surrender it. I got to let it go. This has shown up at the very beginning, and this, I'm sure you heard it fall. The more I honor my inner light, the more I brighten the world. I choose to shine. This is somebody coming out of that shell. This is somebody who's going to, I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you may have played small, or maybe you just didn't, maybe you did recognize your worth, but maybe you settled, or maybe you just accepted less than you deserved, is how I'm feeling. I'm kind of feeling somebody who played small, like maybe if it made other people uncomfortable, for when you shine, when you would shine when you were around this person, like you dulled it down or dimmed your light or something like that. I don't feel like this is what's going to be playing out anymore. I kind of feel like that part of you is gone. It's over. It's done. You're going to shine, and if other people don't like it, well, that's something they got to work on. That's something they got to deal with and heal. That's not about you. The next card that comes out, I claim my desires. I hold great visions. I am ready to receive. And we did see that. We've seen the Wheel of Fortune leading someone to a new beginning, somebody trusting their intuition, somebody who has gone through an ego death, or they've just been really humbled in some way, shape, or form, right? The next card that shows up says, I communicate with ease and grace. People are willing to embrace what I have to say. And yes, I do feel like that is true. And I'm also feeling like it's always been true. But I get this vibe of somebody who played small, right? I feel like somebody played small. They didn't want to make other people feel less than, or like, this is somebody who definitely cared about, the impact it had on other people. But and that's a good thing to do, right? But only to a certain extent. You can't dull your shine. You can't play small to make somebody else feel better about themselves. They have to do the inner work. They have to do the shadow work and rise up, stand in their power, shine with what it is, their gifts, their, attributes, whatever it is, that they have to let their authenticity shine through. And if they don't like what it looks like, then they have to take the opportunity to change it. Let's pull one more card and we'll close out this reading. Again, you can pay attention to the page. Don't forget to like, hit the notification bell. I will be posting the reading for all the new moon readings for each of the 12 signs. This is just a collective. Take what resonates, release what doesn't. And the final card says, all that I love is more important to me than all that I fear. And again, we've seen that through this reading, where somebody was stepping out of their comfort zone. They were going to, like, I feel, become larger than life in some sense. Like, you could find someone who was maybe very isolated in their shell, that sort of thing, all of a sudden coming out more, being involved in different social groups, and situations, or just really getting out there and living a different life now. Not so, I felt skittish was the word I kept hearing. It's not going to be like that anymore. They now have this strength. And look, there's a messenger of earth, messenger of water, the messenger of fire is right here. So I'm seeing this is emotionally, like the way their actions are showing up, and they're changing something in their physical realm. The only thing I'm that's missing out of these messengers is the messenger of air, and that would be the direct line of communication that says, I'm heading in this direction. I'm going to be changing something. I'm going to be disconnecting from this, whatever it is, the communication of all of it that I feel ignites the entire change and transformation of whatever this energy is. Again, I feel someone's just at a point where they're like, this isn't for me. They own it, they accept it, they've thrown it to the universe, they've had that intention in their heart and in their soul, knowing. And so the universe can now show up, intervene, come through, and align them. Now that they're aware that this isn't for them, the things that are for them can come through. I hope this message serves you well. I thank you for taking the time to listen. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you. I send you love and light.